Can I tell you my super lame Watch the Throne idea I've had for a long time? I always thought, when I was younger, it would be such a fucking cool thing if somebody who is a champion of like a boxing champion or like an MMA fighter champion defended their album to the entire Watch the Throne CD and then retired at the end of it.
Whoa.
Like every defense was a different song of Watch the Throne. And then they retired at the end.
That'd be sick.
That was my like fan fiction for boxing. That's not written.
Fan fiction for boxing.
It's essentially fan fiction for boxing. And I mean, I'm not writing it down, but it's the same idea of like as a kid being like, this would be cool. Imagine if someone did this.
Man.
Hello.
Hi, Gavin.
Hey, what's up?
Hi,
Gavin?
Jeff.
What's up? Hey, what's up?
Let's talk about music.
I know.
I'm listening to a lot of Vanessa Carlton recently, and there's a whole thing. Annie is just a ripoff of My Bittersweet Symphony, or at least part of it is. It's odd. It's fascinating when bands accidentally steal songs from each other.
But Bittersweet Symphony's a ripoff.
Sometimes they on purpose steal songs from each other. I present to you the entirety of Led Zeppelin.
That's that's fair. What do you mean by My Bittersweet Symphony? Is that a thing? Are you fucking with me?
Are you asking about Bittersweet Symphony?
Yeah, I feel like you could be Peter Stormaring me right now. I feel this feels very Stormarish where I don't quite have...
It's like a weird instrumental version of like a Rolling Stones song that they
Which
recreated.
Also leaves the door open to be stolen from somebody else. So we might not be able to track
Didn't they...
the origin of it.
Was that the song Bittersweet Symphony? And I'll have to apologize. I wasn't super into that kind of music at that time, so I don't know it very well. But wasn't that the song that they ended up losing all their fucking royalties to the Rolling Stones over?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Was
They didn't end up making any money off the song. Yeah.
I thought it was a U2 song.
Although I think at some point I think they gave it back to the Verve guy.
Oh, like we don't need
they
this?
gave the royalties back a couple of years.
Is that like a power move? Be like, we don't need this song. You can have it.
Or like, we've made all the money on it now. And,
Yeah.
we're about to die, so feel free.
Yeah.
I don't think I can name 3 Rolling Stones songs. I'm not a big Rolling Stones guy.
Well, hold on to that. And let me intro. Hello and welcome to another episode of the KFace podcast. My name is Jeff Ramsey. With me always, Gavin Free, the Brit, and Andrew Panton, the Canada guy. And you are listening to episode season What season? Season 4, episode
Season 4,
3,
episode
Christ.
3 or 2 episode. Well, yeah, episode 3.
Season 4, episode 3.
Technically 2.5.
Season 4, we're just going to go with episode 3. Season 4, episode 3, overall episode 86, I believe. So have fun making sense of that.
Why do we get introduced as Brit and Canada person, but you don't say what you are?
I'm an American, baby. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why. Because I did the
American
intro.
Man.
If you want to, I'll tell you what, when you do the intro,
American baby.
you do it. American baby.
America is default, says Eric.
When America is default. I agree with Eric. When you do the intro, which I highly encourage you to do anytime you want.
Done a few.
You do it however the fuck you want.
I don't think I've ever heard. I mean, you say you have. I don't have a memory of a Gavin intro.
I'm sure it's recorded somewhere.
I don't know if that's true, Gavin. I think you've done some outros. I don't think I've ever heard you do an intro.
This sounds like a bet over the past. Who's gonna win and what are the stakes?
10 grand I've done an intro.
No, I'm betting you 10 grand.
Jesus Christ, out the gate.
I'm pretty confident.
Could somebody, Nick? Could you like message me on the
don't
side?
bring Nick into this.
Can you give me like a statistics, like the odds of?
You're gonna cut Nick in. You're like, I'll give you $1,000 if you help me make this happen. Go back and edit the old episodes. Oh, there you go.
Oh, Nick has pulled the percentages, the demographics.
Yeah, U.S. is default according to this list. Do you want to go through it, Gav? United
US,
States,
68%. UK, woo, 11%. Canada, 9%. Wow, we've got the top 3.
Yeah,
Look at
not
us.
bad. Representing our respective countries.
Why Canada guy? What did you say for Gavin? It felt wordy. Mine.
Well, here's what I said. I said
Canadian exists.
You know what? If you get Canada into second place, I'll call you a Canadian. But until then, you're just a Canada guy at 9%. 11% gets you the proper nomenclature.
Okay, I can live with that. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna somehow work the system.
New Zealand, 1%.
Yeah, well, I wonder who that person is.
That's pretty high. A whole percent for tiny little New Zealand. It's not even on most of the maps.
Yeah, we also have 1% in Ireland. I didn't expect that.
What an exciting time. What place would you least like to visit that's on this list?
Okay, well,
Yes.
So should we go through so the list is United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, which, by the way, thanks, Australia, 6%. Appreciate it. New Zealand, Sweden, Ireland, Netherlands, Norway, Germany.
There's one place I've never been to on that list.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's guess.
Came up in conversation in a recent episode.
There's two in my mind that are very, like, obviously bottom tier.
We're just judging other countries.
Just by name.
Just by name?
I feel like my perception of Norway is that they're always in the Olympics, but they always place, like, 7th. They're a
It's a
7th
shitty
place.
Olympic performance.
No, but, like, good enough to, like, they're there. They're on the first graphic, typically. But I feel like I rarely see a Norway win.
That is the one country I've never been to.
There we go.
Norway. I was trying to figure out.
Norway.
Because
I'd love to go there, though.
We've been to Germany together. We've been to the Netherlands together. We've been to Australia, the UK. We have been to America together. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Mexican restaurant conversation. That's right. Chickpeas and celery in the burrito.
Yeah, in Norway.
Yeah.
I feel like of all the countries
Norway.
listed, I'm most likely to get lost in the Netherlands. There's just something about the name that I don't trust myself in.
Go ahead.
I think if I went to the Netherlands, I wouldn't come back alive. I think I would die in the Netherlands.
From what?
I don't.
Getting lost?
I don't know. I don't trust myself in the Netherlands.
How are you going to die from their socialized medicine and superior healthcare?
No, I'm sure it's a great actual
Great
place, but
transport
there's something.
system.
Do you ever just like, this is going to sound fucking crazy. Do you ever look at a thing and then process a whole scenario in your head that could play out but won't? Like, I could just see, when I look at Netherlands, I process a world in which I'm dead by the end of my trip, 3 days
Some
in.
pretty severe catastrophizing.
I had that recently with a seal. I saw a seal. I saw a photo of a seal in a hole.
And you just
And
thought,
I'm
I'll
like-
lose that fight?
No. Well, so I asked, like, so it was like a gif of a seal, like, poking its head up and down from a hole. And it was like, oh, look at how cute this seal is. And I thought, well, if I was there, I respect animals. They're terrifying to me. I once had a panic attack with my cat. Like, you got to be aware. Animals are a crazy thing. So I was like, well, what would I have done? They're like, oh, this is cute. And my head, I'd be like, we got to fucking go. I was curious, do seals attack? Seals can attack. Seals can be fucking vicious, and they're fast.
They are.
Yeah, I
Apparently,
wouldn't mess with a seal.
if I would fucking run so fast. And then I had this whole moment. I played out this whole scenario in my head. If I was in that fishing hole, I would have been killed by that seal. That seal would have destroyed me. I would have been eaten by that seal.
So your version of Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back in the Dagobah system, going through the swamp and confronting his darkest fear, which is himself as Darth Vader. Your version of that is a vacation to an aquarium in the Netherlands.
It would be the end of me. Yeah. Because I know I would run away, and I guess you're not supposed to. I guess seals like to chase things. So then I could just see the seal chasing after me. And it was this whole thing. I went to the bathroom and I Googled seal teeth on my phone. And I just said, fuck that when I found, I'll post this photo. I was looking, I was like, fuck this. I'm dead. I'm dead if I encounter a seal.
They got barbed teeth.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking deal with that.
Oh,
That sounds terrible. It's just going to chase me.
That's really cool.
That looks like a recipe for a broken tooth. How do they hold on to that?
Eric asked, how are they going to chase me on land? They strike me as very slippery creatures. They got some movement to them. Like, yeah, it's fucking crocodile, alligator, whatever it is. They're faster than you'd think.
Mm-hmm.
Or a snake. You wouldn't think a snake could outrun.
I'd like to see a seal go down your slip inside.
Oh, my Zim and Glide.
Yeah.
Zim and Glide. Get the product.
Zim and
dude.
Glide, sorry.
We're gonna, yes. It's very different from a slip and slide. Zim and Glide. I have a thing that I'd like to talk to you guys about. That
Okay. Real
Could've
fast
gone-
before you do that,
yeah, go ahead.
can I just say something?
Sure. Go ahead.
I just want to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's our
That's
first recording
exciting.
since the New Year, I believe. So Happy
It
New Year.
is.
That's
It's almost like the latest we could possibly go
Yeah.
to have one.
Yeah,
We're
pretty
almost 7 days in. What was I gonna say? Fucking, I'm derailed. Now I'm thinking about New Year's.
You have a thing. You
I
know
have a
what I'm
thing.
talking about.
Oh, it happened. It happened New Year's Eve. The thing I'm gonna talk about.
Ooh. You watch
I
Triple X?
Oh, I wish. What a I should have watched all of them. There's 3 of them now. I could have done a whole night. It's a great trilogy, by the way. I'm gonna. How do I want to set this up? I'm gonna post this email, and then I'll have one of you read it. I'll have Gavin. I'll have you read this. I woke up on Saturday morning, and I had received this, and it is maybe the most I feel I have faced myself in a long time. It's been a while. I'm gonna send this to you. Feel free to read it, Gavin. You'd say the name of the person too. Yeah. Read the name of the person and read the text.
And do it out loud.
Okay, an email from New Year's Eve from Kevin Donovan to Andrew Panton. The email reads, "Sure, I'd be happy to."
That's the director of the Tuxedo.
Oh no! Oh no!
That was my reaction, Gavin. Oh no! Oh no! I woke up Saturday morning and looked at my phone and groggily said, "Oh no! Sure, I'd be happy to." So we have recorded, and I'm not sure if it'll be out at this time, but we did a commentary for the movie The Tuxedo because it's the movie that Gavin was most disappointed by from watching the trailer to seeing the final film.
But you knew that, and you thought, "Hey, I'll get the director involved."
Well, this is listen. There were 2.
You're setting me up for failure.
No, we'll get to that.
Man.
So I reached out before. And I didn't expect. See, I saw this. The way I wrote the email was like, "Hey, do you have any stories or anecdotes or anything that you could share?" Because I thought it'd be funny if during the commentary track I could be like, "Hey, I talked to the director. That's a weird random thing. This is something he had to say about it." That was my plan. We have since recorded that commentary. We're not kind in a lot of different ways. Absolutely nothing personal against the guy. Just The Tuxedo's not a good movie. So
doubling down.
I'm doubling down on that. It's not a good movie. I'm not saying it's his
I think
fault.
that's subjective. Yeah.
I don't think it's his fault. I'm not saying he's at fault for it. But he's directed one film, and it's The Tuxedo. And I don't know his relationship. As far as I can tell, he's never talked about The Tuxedo. Post-Tuxedo, so I don't know what his feelings are on it overall as an experience, and who knows? This fucking making a good anything is really difficult. So
what if he doesn't like it?
Well, it could be like a Mike Judge Idiocracy type thing where the studio got so, or like Run Ronnie Run, where the studio got so involved. Like he had a brilliant Jackie Chan movie, and then the studio got involved because he was a first-time director, and they all like put their fingers in the pie and ended up muddying it all up.
So that's a possibility. I will say the one thing against that is I believe on his website he refers to The Tuxedo as a kung fu movie classic, which would lead me to believe that he has favorable opinions about the film.
Well, when did the movie come out?
2002, maybe? So
19 years ago, and people are still making podcasts about it? That sounds like a classic to me, buddy.
Sounds like a classic.
So
what if we did a commentary with him on our commentary?
We're doing a second. Well, I got to progress this story. So I look at this email, and to me, I interpret this as he has interpreted my original email as saying that, like, I want to interview him or talk to him more extensively. Okay. I thought this would go one of 2 ways. Either he wouldn't reply at all, or he would reply and be like, "Oh, when we did this, like this happened," like a little story about the movie. I never considered the possibility of it being interpreted as like an interview, which I'd love to do. I would love to have an interview with Kevin Donovan, and I was hoping that could even possibly, I could come in here today and be like, "I recorded an interview with the director of The Tuxedo," and talk to you guys about that.
I feel like we should be upfront with him on how much we shout at his movie so he can be mean to us.
That's the dilemma, Gavin, because I want to be kind to Kevin. Like, I have nothing against Kevin Donovan. I'm sure he's a great guy, but I would feel so disingenuous writing this, like,
we'd have to be honest.
Maintaining this very kind tone, which I have, like, on a human level for Kevin Donovan. But at the same time, I feel like such a dickhead being like, "Hey, nice to meet you. Thanks for replying. We thought your movie fucking sucked and was terrible." terrible. But I'd love to talk more with you. Please, that'd be great. Like, what do I do? Like, what is? I felt so faced and like I don't know.
You faced yourself. There's no good way out of this.
There's zero good way out of it.
The upside, the only saving grace is that we had a great time watching it. And
It
maybe
was.
he'll be happy with that. But we did shit on it. We shit on that movie.
A lot. It was a lot.
I do like the idea of doing a director's commentary on our commentary. Like I like the idea of getting him involved and having him do what I wonder what the most nested a series of commentaries over a property is. Like, what if we just did a commentary? We did a commentary over our Tuxedo commentary, and then like every 2 months we just do another commentary on top of that.
I think it's really funny if
we just go forever.
If we have a more extensive bonus features section for the Tuxedo than the release of the Tuxedo had. Like, what we're offering is better than the DVD final package.
What was in the DVD bonus stuff, Gav? Because you were a big fan of director's commentaries and bonus features and stuff.
Was it?
Well, on movies
Was
I
it
liked.
during the time where they were like interactive menu? You remember that? Like when DVDs were coming out, they put that as a feature, interactive menu. You could click stuff. Like that was
Some
like
people-
a big.
Some DVD menus would go all out.
They would.
They would put so much effort, and some would just be like text on a plain background.
I have never cared about a DVD menu.
We used to go out of our mind when we would make those red versus blue DVDs.
They were class.
Piling on extra features and
Easter eggs.
We would
You could,
have like
navigate.
40
That's
or
cool.
50 Easter eggs per DVD. Just tons of shit.
Yeah, you go to like chapter select and then like chapter 5 to 8 and then press down and it would like take you to a secret. It's cool stuff like that.
There
Yeah,
are some
that was
cool
fun.
things. That is cool. That is awesome. I don't like the ones where like it would be a sequence and then they'd loop you back. Like your menu would freeze for a second and then it would restart the sequence. I don't want a freezing menu.
Right.
I think for a first-time director who was working with a lot of money and some of the biggest stars in the world at the time, and he pulled it off, and I'm disappointed in how hateful you both are towards this this film,
hateful.
which I don't remember
hateful
expressing
at all.
any discontent with at all.
Yeah?
I count myself a fan of Kevin Donovan, and
I bet you 10 grand you didn't.
That's the other concern with this is I don't remember specifically what we said in the commentary track. Like I don't know what I'm defending fully.
Yeah,
I just know
feel the
there's a
same
lot
way.
of it.
I don't remember exactly what we said. I just know we were treating it very much like the director wasn't listening to us.
Yes.
and never would.
Never would.
Certainly
Absolutely.
not that we would contact him and make ourselves known to him as we were doing it.
So that was my dilemma. I woke up Saturday both excited that holy fuck, I can't believe Kevin Donovan actually replied. How do I reply to this? And I had the same dilemma as Gavin brought up of like, I feel like if I'm just super nice, I can immediately get this done, but that feels super wrong and disingenuous. And how do I approach? How do you tell someone that the one movie they made you thought was really bad?
This might be one of the rare scenarios where being nice is the meanest you could be.
That's
Yeah.
a great way of looking at it. So I replied.
I will. Okay. Oh God.
I wrote back on Monday. And then I had this realization, because it took a few days, obviously. There was some time period between when I sent it and when it arrived. I had the realization that it is so classically us that I, like, in the original email, I didn't really say anything about what our show was or what kind of the tone of it is, just that we were doing a thing with the Tuxedo, and I'd love to.
Did you tell him
I
the
had a
name?
question. No, I don't think I did
Oh.
in the first email.
Well, without a direct link, our podcast is impossible to find, so we're probably safe.
Yeah, well, I sent that in the second email. I provided a direct link, and
God damn it, Andrew!
I provided a direct link, and then I had the realization that by the time he probably gets around to looking at that email, if he were to decide, like, I'm going to give this show a chance, the episode he would listen to is the most broken and
Oh my
chaotic
God.
episode. Think about the one that came out on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, the one where I tried to print the law and everything broke down. That will be his introduction to the show.
Well, apparently, according to almost every comment I saw on that episode, it's the best one we've ever done. So maybe we're lucky. People fucking loved that. Oh my Lord. I thought it was a train wreck, but
I like that we came away from that thinking we had 18 minutes of Andrew's audio. Nick, how many minutes did we actually have?
We had most of the backup, but 0 of the raw recording.
Right, so 0.
So, okay. Thank you for bringing that up. Pivot away from Kevin Donovan for a moment. I meant to mention this. I forgot I did. There was a point in time in which I was back in and I could hear you guys talking, but I couldn't talk at all, but I could hear everything you all were saying. And I felt like there was a point in which Gavin was snitching on me for pausing my recording the previous week in a panic and then turning it back on. Yeah, I heard that, or I caught the tail end of that. And then, Gavin, you made a point where you were like, why didn't we just pause for like 3 minutes, have Andrew reboot his computer, and then just get on so this would be fine? It takes like 20 minutes for my computer to reboot. But I was so annoyed with you. I was like, fucking, you don't think I'd fucking, okay, I'm going to fucking reset it and I'll reply in an hour when it turns back on. So I start holding down the power button on my computer while everything's fucking broken. And then I remembered I haven't saved that. We did 2 episodes. That was the second one. I did not save the recording for my first one because it takes like 10 minutes to save and we're going back to back. So I'm holding the power button and then I realized that I haven't saved my first recording. I'm going to lose it if I turn my machine off. So then I let go of the power button and I spent the next 15 minutes frantically trying to save before the chain of events realized that it was supposed to turn my computer off. And I was just a frantic mess behind the scenes trying to just make sure I didn't lose literally all my audio. I'd given up on that recording being useful, but I also almost punted away the perfectly fine recording for the first one we did on that day.
Wait.
Andrew.
What? Gavin?
Oh, yeah. I'm just reading what Nick said. I can understand what he's saying.
Oh, yeah. Well, Nick, it was terrifying. My heart was beating fast too, Nick.
Well, if your computer wasn't choking on the law, I assume it would have rebooted.
Oh, it would have died so quickly. Yeah.
Saved by the law.
It was. I was saved by the law.
Here's what I'll say about Kevin Donovan. I don't know how this is going to end. I assume you're not done, Andrew, with the story and that it'll probably go somewhere. But I will say, and I had a light bulb moment just now. If things don't go well with Kevin Donovan, what we will have is our first enemy of face.
No,
and that's
I don't
a
want to
list
be
that's
enemies with
bound
Kevin Donovan.
I don't either. But he might want to be enemies with you, and there's nothing I can do about that. And if he's an enemy with you, then he's an enemy of us because we're a team, right? So I'm just saying there could be like a face list of faced haters, and he might just be number 1 on it. Think of like this.
No, we're not.
It's bound to happen at some point. Right, I know you've already run afoul of the legal lawyer people by continuing to hide on their system for a long time.
I still get emails occasionally.
So I don't count them as friends of the podcast. So
I think they're friends. No, I'm part of. I'm involved with. I'm there. I'm in there. I'm just comfy.
Okay.
Are you talking about the lawyers or the judges?
The judges.
Judges. Yeah.
Yeah, I still get emails from hiredjudge.com.
What is a judge, Gavin, but a lawyer who got a promotion?
Because I think we're enemies with both. I think we're also enemies with 2 dipshits and a lawyer.
So I replied to Kevin Donovan, and I wrote like the first section of it was very sweet. And I'm not going to read the email, but it was like very much like, it's so nice to hear from you. Thank you so much for getting back to us. And then the second part, yes, the second part is the pivot of, I just want to be upfront with you because I would feel wrong doing so otherwise. We made fun of the tuxedo quite a bit. We made a lot of jokes. I said something like that along the lines. This is where I probably made another mistake was
no.
I was very polite. I feel like I wrote as kind of like a, hey, we shit on this thing that you worked on as I could. I felt like I needed to show that I don't know. This is a weird, like I had to put something on the line. I had to put stakes on the line. So I was like, if you have any questions, feel free to email me back here, or you can text me at this number. And I gave him, Kevin Donovan has my personal cell phone number, so he can just text me at any point.
You have so many different phone numbers. Why did you give him your real personal one?
Because I don't know. It just seemed like I wanted to be like, listen, I'm coming from a genuine place. This feels so much. If I was in his position, I think it would feel like a trap or that I was
But you
being
wouldn't
fucked with.
text. Surely you wouldn't even bother. Like, someone says, "Hey, we shout on your movie. Feel free to text me." Like, it's a helpline. Like, what are you expecting him to do?
No, I don't. I just like that is a personal thing that could go wrong. Like, I felt like I was wagering something at that point. Like, I was putting something of value on the thing.
You were giving something back.
I was,
You shout on
yeah.
his movie.
Like,
Here's
not,
my phone
hey,
number.
I shat on your movie and I want to be friends with you to the point where I'm letting you have personal direct access to me whenever you want.
We shouldn't let you talk to people.
No, I'm great at
oh
talking
my
with people.
God.
I'm talking
you?
to Kevin I'm talking to Kevin Donovan. It was a timing issue. It wasn't a talking to people issue. So between
If I'm Kevin Donovan, I start a new podcast called Tuxedo, and I just shit on our podcast for an hour every week.
that'd be really funny. I'd actually like that a lot.
I still don't. You're acting like, oh no, look what's happened. It's unfortunate. You still reached out to him in the first place, knowing that we didn't like this movie.
No, I did it before. I did it before we recorded.
Before what?
Before we recorded it.
Yeah, but we already didn't like the movie.
But you knew you didn't like it. It's like, hey, Cosmic Crisp, we love your apples. I want to talk to you. Hey, Kevin Donovan, your movie stinks. I want to talk to you.
I have more anger with Cosmic Crisp than Tuxedo, but the Tuxedo I was open to liking. I remember watching it as a kid and not being the biggest fan of it, but I went in hopeful that I would have a better experience and I'd have a
it
great
came up
time.
in conversation because I named it as my most disappointed I've ever been.
Yeah, but I don't
watching a
always.
film.
I don't agree with every fucking opinion Gavin Free has. Why am I?
I'm not
Why
saying
am I
my
held?
opinion is more valid or important. I'm just saying that's how it came up. That's not the reason to reach out to the people who made it.
Yeah, but you have ridiculous opinions about the new Matrix movie too, so I don't know how to evaluate your movie takes. Could be wrong.
You don't
Oh,
know.
man.
I don't
So,
know.
You haven't even
did
seen it.
Kevin call or text you?
I have not heard back from Kevin Donovan since I replied with my phone number, and that episode has released.
You sound like a fucking stalker. That's probably
Yeah,
why.
you should run a
It's like, hey,
mile.
Kevin, let's
No.
hang out. Here's my number. Give me a call if you want to.
No,
Where do you live, by the way? What's your address? Would you mind if I came visited you? What do you like for lunch? I'll bring sandwiches.
No, it was a nicely written email. I think I don't know.
Oh, man.
I'd be surprised if we hear back, but I'm hopeful. I have questions I genuinely have questions about that movie. I want to know why James Brown is in it. I want to know if there's a list of suit functions that they didn't cover. Are there any edited suit scenes? What is it like working with Jackie Chan? Because he openly hates all of his American movies. That must be a weird thing.
I would want to know, because these things always happen on film sets, right? You work intensely together for months and months and months. I wonder, what lifelong friendships he built in the process of making that film. Are he and Jackie Chan's close and they still send each other Christmas cards? You know?
Yeah, does he have Jackie Chan's phone number?
It's funny you mentioned that. He filmed a commercial with Jackie Chan in 2018, I want to say, maybe a bit earlier.
wow.
So he has done he didn't stop there. There could be a
Do you
deeper
think
connection.
Jackie Chan remembered him?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Kevin Donovan, I hope I get a reply back. I'd love to hear from Kevin Donovan. What questions do you guys have any questions you would like to ask?
Did Kevin Donovan?
Yeah.
What did you think when you received this initial email or contact from Andrew? And what do you think now?
You guys are going to do your own Kevin Donovan interview about his interaction with me.
Eric said, are you mad at us? Here's my question for Kevin Donovan. Will you accept my apology?
I was very excited about that. I was excited to bring that to the show. I wish that in my head it would have been really funny if I had an interview with Kevin Donovan as well, but I just hope he doesn't hate us, is where I currently stand with Kevin Donovan.
I'm glad you're honest with him. Well, I kind of wish you'd never talked to him in the first place, if
Yeah.
I'm being truly honest, but
Why?
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 What do you mean, why?
Why?
Because now we have a hate list, and he's at the top of it,
No,
and now
he's
we have a
not.
competitive podcast on the way out called The Tuxedo that's just going to shit on us all day long.
I would genuinely love to have a talk with Kevin Donovan. I'm more, as I said, I'm more upset with Cosmic Crisp than I am Kevin Donovan and Tuxedo. I think they're a bigger rival to us.
I don't know I don't know what that means. Why are you upset with Cosmic Crisp? Who, by the
'Cause
way,
they're
should
apparently-
cut us in on their Apple profits because we have sold so many fucking apples for those people.
Not only that, Jeff, that's why. So I'm getting into it. I've been sent screenshots of fucking Cosmic Crisp promoting YouTube content. They're out there promoting content, and they haven't worked with us.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
it's
fucked
weird
up.
that you wouldn't see a tweet from Cosmic Crisp, the Apple company, saying, "Hey, check out Face."
Yeah, what's more synonymous with apples than face?
We are an Apple podcast. I get you're making a joke there, Gavin, but we have done more for the Cosmic Crisp than maybe everybody outside of those who invented it.
Yeah, it's fine, but no one's ever going to talk to us because of our stupid name. We've
Because
faced
we
ourselves. That's
faced
the whole point.
ourselves.
When you talk to people, I'm sure I haven't. When you talk to people that don't know about the podcast and like that, like you're trying to bring them into the world, how do you immediately feel the need to describe what the name references?
I don't think I've ever told anyone about this podcast.
I don't think I have either.
Every time, as soon as I'm like, the show is called Face, and then I'll always add, it's a reference to a baseball card error. Like, I immediately go into like, you have to clarify. It's a great name.
I've even had to do like little like interview bits and stuff with our marketing department about like, hey, we need a soundbite or we need a little 2-paragraph thing about what Face is about and stuff. I don't even like doing that. I'm just like, it's just a podcast about nothing. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I don't want to. There's no way to do it without having to start like unraveling a fucking ball of string that never ends.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I prefer not to. I just say, you know what? Don't listen to it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I would say it's like a deep lore about nothing.
Deep lore about nothing.
Nick said, whenever my parents ask me about work, I refer to it as bleep face since they get weirded out when I say fuck. I go with F face is what I do. I bleep face is a good idea though.
Deep lore about nothing. I like that.
That is good.
Yeah, that's poetic, Kevin. Who wrote that for you? Was that Meg?
Oh, yeah, she read that for me.
What is HelloFresh? Why, with HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's hashtag the #1 meal kit! Exclamation point. The new year is a great time to focus on what's most important to you, whether it's saving money by ordering less takeout, learning to cook, or prioritizing your wellness. HelloFresh is here to help with the endless options to make home cooking a simple and enjoyable experience. And HelloFresh cuts back on time spent in the kitchen, so you can spend it on your other resolutions with meals ready in about 30 minutes or even less. Wow, what a time saver. Plus, quick and easy meals, including a 20-minute recipe and low prep and easy cleanup options, provide an even faster route to putting food on the table and then in your tummy. Don't forget dessert. Satisfy your sweet tooth with seasonal limited time goodies like Dunkaroos cookie dough or Vanilla Delight cheesecake. So go to HelloFresh.com/face16 and use code FACE16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. That's HelloFresh.com/face16. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. When it comes to thinning hair, you no longer have to choose between natural remedies and those that work. There's a holistic solution for men that promotes both healthier hair and whole body wellness without drugs or prescriptions. Did you know that there are 5 root causes of thinning hair? I did not. I'm learning this as I say it. Nutrafol is the hair supplement that goes beyond genetics to target stress, hormones, nutrition, metabolism, and environmental factors that may be impacting your hair. That makes sense. I suffer from all of those factors. Nutrafol is clinically shown to improve hair growth, thickness, and visible scalp coverage without compromise. 21 potent natural ingredients support sex drive, better sleep, and less stress too. In a clinical study, men showed progressive improvement in hair growth and thickness after 3 and 6 months. Nutrafol is also trusted and recommended by more than 1,500 top doctors. You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering the promo code FACE to save $15 off your first month subscription. This is their best offer anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. plus free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code FACE. Double check it. I spelled it right. Guaranteed. Go to Nutrafol.com and use promo code FACE to save $15 off your first month subscription. New year, new poo year. Toilet paper is so 2021. It is time to finally upgrade your bathroom routine with Hello Tushy bidets. So this new year, commit to better hygiene, and yes, that includes your butt too. This thing washes your bum with fresh water for a way better clean than toilet paper. You simply spray and pat dry. It attaches to your existing toilet. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you probably have at least one toilet in your home, and you don't need an electrician or a plumber to install it. It's that simple. It takes less than 8 minutes, and it cuts down your TP use by 80%. That saves money and paper waste. This thing's going to pay for itself in no time. Make the restroom your best room with the complete Tushy system, including the Tushy bidet attachment, ottoman, toilet brush, and Tushy stand and tissues. It's a whole Tushy universe. And we want to help you start off the new year right with a clean butt. So visit hellotushy.com/face to get 10% off plus free shipping right now. Go ahead and tag us and add Hello Tushy on social media so we can celebrate your clean butt with you. That's hellotushy.com/face for 10% off.
Did you ever have stories as a kid? Like, as you get older, you get more stories. You get more things to tell, more experiences. Do you remember like the first? What?
You described that like you're fucking Peter Molyneux. Like you're gonna sell me on a video game. Like you're on a stage and be like, you started as a child, and as you grow, you gain more stories that enrich the lore of this universe. Sorry, continue.
All right, well, forget that. That's obvious, isn't it? That's obvious. But do you remember like the first stories you used to tell people? Like, I'm not talking about like here's what I did at school today, Mum. I'm talking about like a story that you thought was good enough to remember and tell other people.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah, I remembered 3 that I used to, like my 3 go-to stories.
Oh, yes.
Let's hear 'em.
I thought at the time, I thought they were absolute bangers. And I must have been, what age was I? I was riding around on bikes, maybe like 7 or 8. One of my stories was that I watched my friend ride his bike and he tried to spit at me, but it blew back in his face. I thought that was an amazing story. Another one was that my friend got a football stuck in his tree, so he threw a broom up to try and get the football down, and the broom got stuck. I thought that was an absolute knee slapper. And my last story, my last go-to story, was that it was once so windy that it rang the doorbell. Which I still think that's a banger of a story.
Those are bad stories.
I think
Those
I should
are good
retire.
stories.
I'll retire the first 2, but I think the
one.
wind rang the doorbell is still a good story.
I think I've told 2 of my stories on the podcast probably. One is that I tried to set up that bit where you dump water on somebody's head when they walk in a door by putting the bucket on top of the door, you know? But I didn't tie it to anything, so when my mom opened the door, a full bucket of metal bucket of water hit her in the head, and I knocked her out. And there was that story I think I've told about how I jumped that ramp on my bike that everybody said I couldn't do, and when I landed, both of my tires popped, and there was a bunch of smoke, and I thought I had died, and I had heard myself die, and I had to wait for the smoke to settle to realize I was still alive. And the other one that's probably my oldest story that I don't remember enough to tell it accurately is I remember there was a hilarious sequence of events playing a game of Uno in the first grade with my friend Scott, and I remember he said, "I don't have any reds," in a really funny way, and I probably told that story till I was like 15. I wish I could remember it now. I thought that was and I'd be like, yeah, and then Scott said, "I don't have any reds," and I'm like laughing, and people are like, "What the fuck?" Okay. But, you know, when you're 9, it's hilarious.
You were 9 in the
Andrew?
first grade?
Oh, how old was I in the first grade? This is Alabama, so I might have been 16. I don't remember.
So those are the first stories that you remember telling? Like the ones that you would cycle around?
Those are like my bangers that I'd bring around.
Yeah.
Oh, and the time I used to tell these other 2 stories. One, I loved telling this story because I thought it made me sound like a badass. I was digging. My friend had a pile of dirt in his backyard because they were doing some landscaping, and that same kid, Scott, and I were digging with shovels, and I got behind him, and I wasn't paying attention, and he swung the shovel behind him and hit me in the forehead and split my forehead open, and I was just gushing blood. And I went to his mom and I said, I need stitches, I need a Band-Aid or something. And she looked at me and she said, I have to take care of the baby. You need to go home. And I had to ride my bike home covered in blood. And I was a latchkey kid, so my mom was at work. So I just sat in the bathroom crying with like towels on my head while I just fucking bled like an inch over my eyeball. And then another time, the other friend we had, a kid named Casey, we were at a construction site and there was a little fire there that somebody had built, like at night, the kids or something, and it was still going. So we put a ramp and we were jumping over it on our bikes, and he hit it wrong and fell. And I thought he was going to fall into the fire, but he didn't. Instead, he fell and impaled his neck on rebar.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
through his
I'm not
neck?
kidding, dude.
What?
Yeah, through like the side of his neck and came out the other end. And he goes,
on.
"Ah!"
What?
I swear to God. I swear to
no
God. And,
way.
and he stood up. He like popped it off and there was like blood. And I just ran him home.
What?
Didn't hurt him. I mean, it went one. It like was like the tail like on the far right of his neck. Like if you pull your neck out, it just like pierced it right there.
Oh,
and it
Jesus
bled, but it didn't
Christ.
hurt it. It didn't hit anything important. It was just stitches and a terrified trip to the emergency room. And I don't think he was allowed to hang out with me after that. I think I, for some reason, got all the
You got
blame.
banned.
He's like Shaun of the Dead at his own neck.
Yeah, this would have been 1983, probably 1982. Yeah,
my
it was
God.
fucking gross and scary. Yeah, that was yeah.
That's horrendous.
Man, that's a way better story than the broom.
No,
Not
I
true.
don't know. The broom's pretty good. Just how did he
I
get the
didn't get
broom out?
nearly enough credit for getting Casey home that day. I got in a lot of trouble, and I fucking saved that kid. But whatever.
What about you, Andrew? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Man. Yeah, no, I'm trying to
Do you have
think.
any
I
remember?
don't. Well, no, I'll think about this more. There are two that immediately come to mind. I remember being like, I don't know, maybe 5 years old. I was at my grandparents' house, and my grandpa was talking to our neighbor Jan, and I decided that like, oh, I want to get in on this conversation. I'm gonna need to have a real banger of a story to like cut in and wow the room. And so it was like there's like a cop show on TV, and I walked out and I was like, I'll just make up like some story. I'll be like, I walked out and I said something like, did you just see on the news there's this guy who like solved crimes and he dodged like 8 bullets? And then a like 5-year-old brain, I was like, this is the coolest story ever. And they immediately said, oh, that must have like that was a show, or that's not real. That's not what you just said, didn't actually happen. And I just walked away dejected. It didn't
They
play.
just shut you down.
They shut me down immediately, and it didn't. It was fair too. The other story, it's not so much a story. This is just embarrassing. I remember getting Xbox Live when I was like 10, and as a 10-year-old playing Xbox Live, this was a time where people actually talked on Xbox Live. There were party chats, so you'd go into lobbies, and I had like my go-to move at that time because it's like 2004, and I'm a 10-year-old. I would like essentially every conversation I'd be like, so you watch Family Guy? That was like my cut in to it. And it was set up in the living room, and I joined like a lobby once. And as soon as I joined, I was like, hey, and my mom from the kitchen went, so you guys watch Family Guy? Making fun of me. And I've ever since that moment have a hyper awareness if I'm in a room with anybody else and I'm talking. It might be the most embarrassed I've ever been in my life. And to this day, I struggle with talking with somebody else in the room. Like if it's a phone call, it doesn't matter what it is because of Family Guy. And that's just burnt into my brain.
So she just knew that you were going to say it?
Oh, she knew because I said it fucking 97 times a day every time I joined a Halo lobby. So she just immediately said it. And it just was because I knew how lame it was even at that time. But to get called out on it.
Is that why we can't do this podcast in person? Because you're still affected by the Family.
Yes, that's the only reason.
I'm starting to realize why you are the way that you are.
Really? Was that? what did you uncover from that?
You got from there to the pencil.
What
I don't
did that
know,
make
just
you
people
realize?
just like chewing down your confidence, and then you're just like overthinking stuff to the point where
Yeah.
you're just an insane person.
Well, okay.
Makes total sense.
It's funny that you say that because I had one of those recently. I recorded a second episode of the Q&A thing that I'm doing, and one of the questions was, what is your favorite holiday treat? And I open with, is eggnog a treat? Like, I went in on eggnog specifically, a thing I've never had. And Eric called me out for it. And he's like, you are a psychopath. The question is, what is your favorite? Why are you talking about a thing you've never had? The reason why I did that is because that was the third version of that recording I had done, and I didn't want to answer it in the exact same way that I answered the previous recording. I didn't like how they came out, the other two. So that was the third time I had answered that question, and I felt like even though nobody would hear the other two, in my head it was lame to use the same answer over and over again. So I was like, how do I switch this up a little bit? I'll make a little comment about eggnog, and it just seems insane.
I like the idea of like a celebrity doing interviews, but they never want to answer the same way, like on all the talk shows. They just start telling lies and making up shit.
It's not telling lies. I was just like, how can I?
It?
How? No, but I was saying, I never said I did. I said, is it considered a holiday treat? Because I've
Why
never
would
had
you
it.
give that answer, though? Is the
Because-
thing that I was bringing up to you. Is the question was, what's your favorite holiday treat? And you said, is eggnog a holiday treat? I've never had it.
Yeah, because
It wasn't
I'm trying
what's
to
your
spice it
favorite
up.
holiday
No.
treat you've never had.
No, you guys are missing the thing entirely. I'd answered that 2 times already, and I just answered clearly like, these are what I view as. Since it was my third time, I didn't want to duplicate that. So in the moment, I'm like, how can I spice this answer up a bit? I'll do a thing about eggnog. I'll talk about eggnog for like 10 seconds, and then I'll get into the exact same
No
thing.
one
I said
else
on the
has
other
heard it.
I
No
know,
one
but that's
else
how
has
my
heard
brain
this.
works. I'm saying this is how Gavin's right. I'm overthinking this thing that nobody's gonna hear, but I'm like, I can't say the
All that
same
you've
thing
been
3
left
times.
with, you've been left with this weird level of confidence where you overthink everything and then you overcorrect and just go blasting in with all this crazy confidence in other directions. Nothing works about you.
That's maybe the meanest thing anyone's ever said to me.
I don't think it's mean. I don't think it's
What?
mean.
You don't think that's mean?
I think
Nothing
I don't think it's
works
true,
about
Andrew.
you.
I think lots works on you. It just works weirdly.
yeah, nothing works as you'd expect, and what it produces is actually a very nice and very funny person. But
That's a flip.
it's all
Well-
like built on what?
Nice
part?
unless your name is Kevin Donovan.
That's
Wait, well,
no. I was nice to Kevin Donovan. All my interactions with him directly.
I would argue that reaching out to him at all is not nice.
Really, I don't view it that way.
Knowing what was coming, I do.
Jeff, I like to
like
mend
that man
bridges.
could have lived in blissful ignorance for the rest of his life, not
I agree.
bothering to know that the 3 of us hated his fucking movie.
I
But
don't-
you chose to initiate contact. You chose first contact.
Nah, I don't know. I disagree. I respectfully disagree. I think
Well,
there's a world in which we
think it for
become
a
great
while.
friends with Kevin Donovan, and none of that would have been possible without.
well, I hope
reaching
so.
out.
It'll
hope
be
so.
a hell of a recovery.
Imagine if Kevin Donovan directs the Child Kicker movie. You ever make that into a thing?
Best case scenario, Kevin Donovan becomes a full-time member of this podcast.
I would
Maybe
love
he's
to
the
have,
piece we're missing.
Can we? I don't know. Maybe like do I don't know. Get Kevin Donovan involved in some way. I'd love to have Kevin Donovan.
If he gets involved, I'm buying him like a hamper or something. Like we got to make some sort of nice gesture.
I agree. I'd love to get a fruit basket of maybe like some nice jams. I don't know.
Yeah,
Cosmic Crisp.
collection of jams.
Maybe I don't know. We'll figure that.
We could send him we could send him an apple basket that you weave.
I don't know if that will mean without context.
There's no context. A man just receives a poorly woven basket full of a specific apple, and he just goes, "What did I do? What if I got
Canadian
myself
sent me
into?"
a crushed tumbleweed in the mail.
So I had Kevin Donovan, and I had one other thing that I wanted to talk about. That is a very funny discovery. I have a new nickname. I have a new nickname.
Oh,
That is exciting. Somebody emailed this to me. They were looking through like just news archive stuff, like they're just searching different like news clippings and whatever. And they found a news clipping of me when I'm like 7 playing tennis.
you were in the news?
I was in the news. I remember this happening too. I used to do like tennis lessons at this place, but I was in the news. They like filmed it probably as like trying to do advertising for their tennis program that they're doing.
Is it fastest sewing machine?
Are you
It is-
sewing machine?
It is a continuation. This is the entry point of me eventually learning the sewing machine. Let me introduce you to Andrew Sweet Swing Panton.
Oh my God, you're
Why is that?
adorable.
I was expecting some like distant photo of like a bunch of. You look like they're treating you like you're freaking Roger Federer. Look at the picture.
The wording on it is really funny. Of Andrew Panton keeps his eye on the ball in preparation for his return during the
No,
tennis
he does
lesson.
not.
Like,
Your
it's-
eyes are nowhere near that ball, dude. You are spiking the lens.
The phrasing of the return is like, I am like this tennis prodigy that got hurt and I'm now coming
Like
back
back out
to
of
the game.
retirement.
Yeah. So I feel so bad. I'll credit next episode, I'll give proper credit to the person who found this. So the person found it and they're like, look at this ridiculous thing I found. They then took it even further and they made Andrew Panton Sweet Swing rookie cards. This is in existence. They went to the Topps website.
God.
They made a collection
Oh,
of Andrew Sweet Swing Panton as a rookie.
We need to sell those in our card thing someday. That's brilliant.
The fact that it's taken from a black and white newspaper clearly you could look at that and have no idea what year that was.
It's probably
That could easily be from the 40s. I guess the tennis racket style gives it away.
It looks like 1975 to me.
It's 19. I'd say 99 would be my guess.
What brand
Yeah.
racket are you rocking there?
Oh, that's a good head. Maybe is that one of
head?
the? Yeah, I think it's.
I was
head.
always a Slazenger kind of guy.
I've never heard of Slazenger. Is it head?
I,
Oh, it is head. Look at me. I fucking called the logo.
I swing a Babolat myself.
A
Very
Babolat?
Big fan of those. Babolat. Although I can't play tennis anymore right now. So, but when I get back to it, dude, you're a cute kid. Why? You know why I can't play arthritis and injuries.
I thought
The
it was
body's
because
broken
you're
down,
training to throw a faster ball.
I can't even get to the training yet right now because of all the other issues. But that's okay. I don't want to talk about me and my broken old ass body.
Jeff, do you remember when you committed to hitting 1,000 baseballs?
Dude, the baseballs are in. I got to do that.
What do
soon.
you
We need to
mean
set that
they're
up.
in?
Mallory told me the baseballs are here.
But you can't do that. There's no way that you can. If you're not in a state in which you can't play tennis, you can't hit 1,000 balls.
Well, I can't play tennis for fun, but I can hit 1,000 balls and do more damage to myself for, my job. I'll do that.
That's sad.
I know.
There's no way. I think you might die if you hit more than, I'm gonna say 115. I'd
Will
put
see.
that at your
We need
limit.
to. I'll get Eric. Can you get that set up? Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. God, we're almost an hour in already.
I
We
love
are
that
flown
photo
by.
of Panton so much. That is
Why?
such a great photo.
Why? What
It's
about
just
it?
it's like a really good picture.
Can we put on a shirt?
I've never looked that cool in a still image in all my life.
I don't think I look cool in that photo at all.
You do.
I guess
You do.
how many kids have like a properly professional action shot taken of them?
That is, you know what? I will say that photo has more of an action shot than 90% of the baseball cards we open.
It's true.
Balls in frame. It is a good photo.
Between that and your Men in Black photos, dude,
Oh, God.
I can't wait to see what else you've got. You're holding on to.
I think those might be the greatest hits. I remember the Men in Black getting that for Halloween and like renting the suits and like having to lie that I was going to a wedding for it. That's like my main memory of that. Are we going to post
That's a good
those with
story.
the tuxedo?
I hope so.
What are we going to do? I was trying to think. There's another photo.
I want to make posters and sell them. I want the world to have it.
It's genuinely the last time I wore a tuxedo, and I think there's only one other time, and there's a photo of it somewhere that I'll try to find. It's a terrible photo.
It's great.
I think I've only worn it twice. Tuxedo.
Well, does anybody have anything else they want to cover before we end?
Not anything that I would say is like expansive.
I have one little thing. If Gavin or yeah,
No, go ahead.
and this is more of a directed to the audience. So I tried to mention this a couple episodes ago, but I got distracted. But I've been thinking a lot about well, first off, let me say I've been hanging out a lot in laundromats, and I'm really into it. I'm really digging laundromats these days.
Why?
Well, they smell good, first of all, and they're warm on a cold day. Not that we have a lot of those. And they're empty, and there's like a rhythmic thumping and sound of all the machines going on at once. It's quite.
But you're not doing laundry.
Corded. And I'm doing laundry.
Oh, you are doing laundry.
Yeah, no, I don't hang out at laundromats just to hang out yet, but I could get there.
Well, you made it sound like you were because I assume you have a washing machine.
I do. But Henry, the bulldog, he has problems with his pee-pee and sometimes at night, and so he wears a diaper. Yeah. And then sometimes it doesn't get it, or sometimes he wiggles out, and sometimes the sheets, the duvet, and everything get a little Henry on them. And it's hard to wash king-size duvets and dry them in my washer and dryer. So we've started going to the laundromat where you can knock it out in no time at all, like in those industrial dryers and industrial washers. And I just quite enjoy the laundromat. So I've been thinking maybe into my post-Rooster Teeth, post-podcasting career when it's time to settle down and retire, I don't think I'll ever want to stop working. But what I do think I want to do is open up a laundromat. I think that might be my second act, is being a laundromat owner. So I wanted to talk to the audience. If anybody out there owns a laundromat, has experience running or managing a laundromat, what was it like? Did you enjoy it? Is it as much fun as I think it would be? Is it profitable? I'd love to know. Just email Andrew, and then he can filter all that to me. I would love to hear your laundromat feedback or your personal experiences with laundromats, because I'm really fucking jazzed about them right now.
It's weird that was like the one appliance that could be put in a different building and run as a business. Like you don't get a business that's just like 18 fridges and you could just keep stuff cold.
Like a freeze-o-mat, a cool-o-mat.
Yeah, like if you have room for your own fridge, just keep your shit in a Frigimat.
Yeah, or like, oh, do you need some extra space for your casserole? Come on over to Oven Mat. You call ahead, we'll preheat it to whatever 425. It'll be waiting for you.
You just text the preheat onto the oven.
Anyway, I would love to, if you've ever worked at a laundromat or owned one, please let Andrew know and he can let me know.
I don't think I've ever been inside one. I want to check. Maybe I'll watch some. Maybe a big duvet.
Come on to the laundromat with me someday. Hang out with me at the laundromat, and we'll spend some time together. It'll be fun.
I like that I started off as a fan of Rooster Teeth, and I end up later in life doing laundry with one of the guys that started it in a laundromat. We're just hanging out doing our laundry. That's great. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I'm looking. I don't think I ever want to stop completely, but at some point, I don't know that I want the high stress, high pressure career that I've had, constantly reinventing yourself and trying to be funny and create new products and all share all of these foibles of, at some point I'm going to be tired of that. And laundromats smell good and they're the perfect temperature and they have a nice hum. And they're empty. People come in, they throw their clothes in and they leave. That's also something I like about laundromats, or at least the laundromat I've been going to, is that there seems to be it seems to be populated and propagated by decent human beings that understand that they're all in the same boat. Like I remember when I lived in an apartment complex, I would do laundry and sometimes I'd come back and I'd be like, somebody stole my fucking pants. Somebody else out there is a 32-29 or whatever and stole my fucking blue jeans. That doesn't seem to happen at a laundromat. People seem to be respectful of each other's stuff. And I appreciate that too. It's like a place where decorum still exists in the world.
It does seem like
that's interesting.
There's a very unique personality. Well, I don't know, like personality isn't the right word. I feel like once you discover the laundromat, you don't go back unless you are in a situation which, like, if it makes sense to use laundromat for your lifestyle or whatever, it would be extremely useful.
I wonder what the maintenance is like. Like how often you have to clean them, and I mean, potentially you've got like 40 plumbing problems about to happen.
I was trying to get behind and kind of look at the machinations of it and stuff. And I get a sense that because these machines look old as dirt, but they still seem to be running fine. I think they're built to last. I'm sure that there's maintenance. I'm sure there are problems you have to deal with. I imagine it would be quite scary. It would have been quite a scary place to own in the freeze last year. But I get the impression
all the time.
Yeah, I get the impression that, I mean, it basically runs itself, that they're there. You just provide electricity. There's a thing you can go buy soap and shit if you need to. It's all coin operated. All you have to do is have a change machine in there. And then, like, I've been in that laundromat probably 4 or 5 times over the last since Thanksgiving. and I've never seen anybody working there.
Yeah, I was
Ever.
about to say, I feel like it would be great for money laundering. You don't really need a
Yeah.
staff.
Well,
It's just like
I
a
don't-
business.
It's in the name.
Yeah. It's a little on the nose then at that point, isn't it? It would be like obnoxious to make a laundromat your money laundering operation.
You should see if you could call it money. Oh, Eric said the same thing. To call it money laundromat and see if it raises any eyebrows.
Woo! Well,
There we
I
go.
wasn't sure what today's podcast was going to be like coming in, but I quite enjoyed it. So obviously this is coming out, I don't know, third week of January or something, but was recorded on January 6th. I
liked it.
It's that first time I've talked to you guys in the new year, so I just want to say I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys I hope you had a good New Year's Eve, and I hope you have a good New Year. And I hope you listen to this podcast and all the future ones. Not you. I was talking to you. Now I'm talking to the audience. I realized
Yeah,
I
you
switched
kind of
gears.
pivoted mid-sentence.
I
and was
pivoted
like,
mid-sentence. Yeah, no, I pivoted mid-sentence, and then I realized that's why I called it out.
Okay.
Yeah, dumb move on my part. But that's the end of this one. So if you, I don't know, just fucking.
What's
do
our
whatever
newest
you do.
merch item?
Oh, did you see there's a Grown Tube update?
Fuck sticks,
in the
right?
Slack? There's
No, I
a fuck
didn't see.
stick. There's a fuck stick update that's interesting.
Are they delayed?
No. It's an interesting update. I'd say it's a positive one.
Well, tell us what it is, dude.
What is it? Hold on.
Well, I don't.
Why are you
I've
fucking
gotta
look for it?
reopen this-
It's different colors. We can talk about it. And now we can end the show and talk about business for like 3 minutes until Jeff goes, I gotta go. And then but
Okay,
we got,
face team, the grown tube situation has evolved.
oh my
Producer
god.
own-
What are you doing?
I'm just reading what it says.
Right, but we don't
Yeah.
have to. It's not for the episode. This is for us.
could be. It
Orange
is now.
common with 600 units.
We don't have to do what he's laying out. This is his idea for the way he's laying it out with like these colors.
I like it. I like the colors.
He's saying we can't do white because white is too expensive?
They don't, and
LEDs.
you can only get it
Oh,
from one.
you know those
one
like
manufacturer.
those like when you throw a bouncy ball and it like lights up the different colors, like that that mechanism. I've like apparently like my uncle invented. I'm somehow related to the
What?
person that invented that in some way.
happening?
What?
They're not. I don't think they're my uncle, but they're definitely in the family tree somewhere.
Well, this is
What?
Second cousin.
End this. End this. What is happening?
Oh, we got a cliffhanger now.
Hey, audience, would you? Oh, I see. Pink, yellow, green, and orange. What is your favorite color?
I love orange.
I like orange too, but I have an association with orange. It always makes me feel like I'm picking it because of that. I like green's not bad. There's no wrong color when it comes to a fuck stick.
No,
Thanks for
I think we
listening.
should wait until we can get white.
I just.
They're
Oh,
expensive.
yeah, and I like the orange one.
What do you have against orange?
No, nothing.
It sounds like something.
Just weird to see a color come through the logo. I think that's what's weirding me out.
Is it?
It's weird
I
to
see.
face that's colored in.
Huh.
Bye.
Well, we'll talk to you guys later. And Gavin, next week, I want to get into why you were in such a bad mood in this podcast. Talk to you later.
No, was it? What do you mean?
Hey guys, minor league fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. Andrew talks old school achievement guides. Gavin destroys everything with an Apple remote. The boys talk about killing Betty White and doom Tom Hanks in the process. Jeff celebrates Zim Day. And once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All that and more on the next episode of Face.